ball. You're going to wrap your feet around the ball. And you're going to hold on to the back of your knees because the ball weighs like a couple of pounds. You will feel on these thighs. So start by rounding your spine and curling your back, and do not let go of the ball. Halfway through this class and some of the exercises, your ball's going to go flying. Just ignore it and just gracefully pick it up. So soften those lower backs as much as you can. We're just warming up those spines. Good morning, Alma. She's joining us. So you're keeping your chin to your chest. You're really trying to get that lower back to soften up. So this is warming up those backbones. We're just going to keep rolling just for another 6 more rolls, just so everyone has joined us perfectly. For 5, that's it. Alma, she doesn't mess around. 4 more. Curl that spine, lift the tailbone for 3 more. Good, 2 more. And then last one, roll all the way back. Drop your tailbone back onto the floor and just hold those knees into tabletop position. Now, if you need support, if your back is a little bit tight and you can't do this one, put your hands underneath your butt like this for a bit of support. But if you're a little bit stronger and your back is okay, hands go down beside you. Now, roll your shoulder blades back, and all you're going to do is you're going to start by extending the legs and pressing in on that ball. So you're activating adductors, thighs, hip flexors, and stomach muscles. So you're going to bend, inhale, exhale, and squeeze on that ball. Inhale, exhale, and feel the abdominals pulling in. Do not push out those two muscles. So every now and then, put your hand on your stomach. Make sure that you're connecting and pulling down that belly button. Roll your shoulder blades back into the ground. That's it. Now squeeze that ball as tight as you can. Do 4 then. Squeeze, straighten those knees right up from the elbow. That's it for 3. Squeeze for 2 more. That's it. Last one. Extend the legs, hold it up there, hold those legs as straight as you can, feel those thighs and tummy muscles. Now we're going to try do little mini hip lifts. So you're going to roll the ball towards your face, lifting your tailbone off the ground. Roll the ball towards your face, and if you're that little bit stronger, yes, you can do full rollovers, where you take that ball with you but keep the ball off the ground. And then drop back down. But start with mini ones first. It really activates those tummy muscles. If you need to bend the knees, do so. You can still do the mini rollovers. You're really drawing those tummy muscles down. Good. That is perfect. Do 4. That's it. That's it for 3. Perfect. Katrina, let me see. Lift the tailbone for 2 more. Last one. Roll up onto your tailbones. Grab those knees. Roll up onto your tailbone, guys. Nice and balanced. Now we're going to take it into rollovers if possible. Now again, you can just stick with rolling like a ball like this if you want, or rollovers. Press with your hands, extend the legs, roll back up and release, okay? Your legs haven't released that ball yet, so you should be starting to feel those inner thighs, those hips, and those tummy muscles just a little bit. Now, if you're stronger, keep your head on the floor, take it into full rollover, and roll back down. Feeling those tummy muscles kicking in, and you're taking it into full rollover. Yes, this is the option. That's the hardest option. That's it. Jacinta, let me see. Roll over. Perfect. Lock those knees nice and straight. Do 3 more, whether you're just rolling like a ball or you're rolling over, or you're doing rolling like a ball and roll over combined. I want you to do 3 nice and controlled, 2 at your pace, and then last one. Good. Drop those hips back down to the floor. Now hold the back of your knees, because these legs are still working, those inner thighs are working, but I want you to switch off those little hip flexors. Now this is where it gets a bit of fun, okay? So hold the back of your knees, take the ball in your hands and extend the legs up nice and straight. Now, bit of control here. Your ball, this is literally going to be funny, but your balls are going to go flying on this one. You're going to throw the ball up, catch with your feet, and drop it back down. Throw it up, catch it, and you have to work inner thighs, tummy muscles, balance and control. Let's see, Mary, up higher. That's it. Lock those knees at nice and straight. If you need to bend into tabletop every single time, do so. So I'm going to see a few balance flying. Throw it higher, guys. Make it more of a challenge. Do 4. Up and down. For 3. That's it. 2 more. Last one. And drop those knees back down. Drop your feet onto the floor. I'm surprised nobody lost it. Pull your knees over to one side. Take the ball up over your head. Stretch out those lower backs. Be nice and gentle. And do the same to your other side. Get your knees, roll them down to the mat all the way across. Open up those lower backs. And then bring it back into center. Now we're going to roll like a ball, but I want you to start from the seated position. we're not rolling like a ball, roll up. So extend those legs out nice and straight and reach that ball forward, trying to touch your toes. Draw your tummy muscles in and roll down as slow as you can. Now, if you take the ball higher, that makes it harder. So that's an option for the stronger guys. Press those ankles together. Inhale, ball goes to the ceiling. Exhale to roll back up. Draw those tummy muscles in. Reach forward, tip the ball to your toes. Inhale, lift the ball up for a challenge. Exhale, roll down. And you can start to lower that ball down as you roll into that mat. Perfect, Tara. Inhale, arms go to the ceiling. Exhale, draw those tummy muscles in. Good, good, good. Reaching forward, touch the ball to your toes. Last two, and then we start to change it slightly. Roll all the way down for me. Good, shoulder blades to that mat. Inhale, arms to the ceiling. Chin to your chest on the exhale. All the way forward. And on your last one, we're going to go down halfway. So we're going to roll down halfway. Now again, the weight of the ball, you've got to feel it on your arms. Hold the position, lift the ball up higher. Remember what I always say about holding the beach ball? Kick the beach ball. Now we actually get to do it. So you're going to lift one foot up and then the other. And this is working hip flexors, abdominals. Your poor little arms are still working because you're holding the weight of that little ball. That's it. Feel those tummy muscles kicking in. Do 4 kicks to that ball. For 3, for 2, for 1, and release all the way back down onto the floor. Release. Now take that ball, put it underneath your feet, guys. So the ball goes underneath your heels. Now we're going to do bridge. We're going to switch off the abdominals just for a little bit. We will go back to core later on. So your feet are flat on top of the ball. Press your kneecaps together so your knees are together. And you're just going to do normal bridge. So hands on the floor and you're going to roll those hips up as high as you can. This is brilliant for glutes, hamstrings, and those back muscles. When you come down, it's really good. You're going to force the ribs down first, then the lower back, then the tailbone. And if you're going to cramp, it's going to be here. Raphael has just got a cramp there. So do the same thing. Roll the tailbone up slowly, 1 vertebrae at a time. Feel the recruitment of those hamstring muscles. And then curl back down. Ribs first, lower back second, tailbone last. That's beautiful. Do it again. 2 more. Normal bridge first. So lifting the vertebrae 1 at a time. Lift those hips as high as you can and squeeze those butts. So get as comfortable as you can into bridge. Curl down. Ribs, lower back, tailbone last, and you can tilt your pelvis to arch the back 1 more. So roll up for me. So lift those hips up nice and high. Now keep your hands flat on the floor. Brace your tummy muscles. With your legs, press that ball out nice and straight. Lock the knees nice and straight so you're activating glutes and hamstrings again and back muscles. And then pull that ball back in. So let's go out and back into. We feel that lovely warming sensation to those hamstrings. That's it. Your glutes are still fired up and you're squeezing those butts and you're pulling in and out. Last 4. That's it. For 3 more. We just wait for Tara. For 2 more. On your last one, lift those heels to your butt and hold that position. That's it. And all I want you to do is start to bounce on your ball. And this is fun. It helps to work the stabilizers on the knees and the hips, but it also burns those hamstrings into failure. I'm going to do 6 bounces. 5, 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Roll that spine back down. Give your hamstrings a little bit of a rub. Stretch out the hamstrings by extending your right leg up towards the ceiling. So grab the back of your hamstring and try straighten that leg up as best you can. So it's a nice big hamstring opener. Good. Slowly swap those legs. And again, you try get the leg as straight as you can and feel that stretch for your hamstring. You're not forcing it. Good, good, good. Now we're going to do another roll up just to get those tummy muscles to kick in. We're going to add it into a straight leg bridge. So we're going to combine 2 exercises. So the straight leg bridge is your heels on top of the ball. Now you don't have to do the roll up from this position because it is a nice little advanced one. So your feet are turned out like Charlie Chaplin. You're squeezing your butt and I'm going to get you to lift those hips up nice and high. I want you to squeeze those glute muscles. If you're feeling it in your back, you're not activating your glutes enough, okay? So let's roll the spines back down. Ribs, lower back, tailbone. And for the guys who can't do the roll up, you don't have to do it, but you can just do another bridge if you want. The guys doing the roll up, you're going to try roll up towards your feet and grab those ankles. Not a bother, Tara. Inhale. And then use exhale, come back down. Come on, Monica. You are well over that one. Yes. The first one is actually the hardest because you got to recruit the abdominals more than a normal roll up. And again, don't worry if you can't do a roll up. You can just do an extra shoulder bridge, you lucky little gits. And again, you keep your feet turned out, you activate and squeeze your butt first. Do one straight leg bridge, and then you roll back down. Roll up off the tailbone. And try to come up and grab your feet. So you can grab the ankles, grab the knees, grab the shins, whatever you can for a few seconds, and then concentrate on going down, but not too fast. Even if you have your hands hooked on the back of your legs, try roll down as slow as you can. Even if you're only doing half one. If you only get to there, that's fine. It's still kicking in those tummy muscles. You don't have to do double straight leg bridges. And you're squeezing your butt, so you're activating back and glutes. And then you activate those tummy muscles by trying to roll up again. You can grab the back of those legs and feed yourself up into roll-up position. And same thing, you can have your hands in the back of your thighs, but try go slow because you'll get to a certain point where you just want to collapse onto the mat. And you'll notice you're going to start to migrate off the top of that mat. That is normal. So we're going to do one more of each. So you can do one more bridge here. One more roll-up, drawing those tummy muscles in, trying to roll all the way up. And then you try roll all the way back down nice and slowly, very, very slowly, drawing those tummy muscles down away from your t-shirts. And then release. Pull your knees in just for a second. Now you can scoot down because I'm guaranteed everyone's coming off the screen, coming off the mats with that one. Now we're going to wake up those inner thighs a small bit more. Okay, so from this position, what I want you to do, I'm going to turn this way so you can see it. Say I'm going to have the ball on the floor like this, but I'm going to take my feet to say 10 and 2 o'clock on that ball. Okay, but see the way my feet have wrapped around it. I want you to roll your big toes in towards the ball. Okay, so you've got to turn your hip head inwards so that your toes are wrapped around the ball. So I don't want to see heels in, toes out like this. That's it. I want to see toes in and heels wrapped around the ball. Now, so drop your ball onto the floor. Take your hands, put them on the ground. Now, I want you to, if it's 10 and 2, that's fine. It's still going to work the inner thighs. But if you really want to work the inner thighs, drop it to 9 and 3. Let's see who drops to 9 and 3. And it's probably like 10 to 2, but it's roughly about there. So I want you to grip the ball as tight as you can and lift the hips up off the floor. Now, if you feel that on your knees, all you do is you walk that ball in a little bit more onto your calf muscles and do the exact same thing. You're lifting your butt off the ground, activating your glutes, but also you're rolling your toes inwards. You're giving yourself a little bear hug around that ball. And now hold those hips up. Hold that position. That's it. And we're going to roll the ball to the left-hand side of the mat, over to the right-hand side. So you're activating one inner thigh a little bit more. So you're going to roll over. Now your big toes are still touching that ball. That's perfect, Mary. That's it. All the way across the other side and feel those inner thighs. Now roll to the left-hand side and pause there. Hold that position. Just feel the activation of that top inner thigh muscle. Feel your abdominals pulling in nice and tight and just breathe for a few more seconds. Roll it back to center. Roll to the opposite side and hold that position. Feel that top inner thigh burning for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Bring it back to center. Drop your hips back down. Pull those knees in. Give yourselves a little rest. Rock your knees from side to side so you're softening out those lower backs. All right, so that area worked nicely. Let's roll up and over, guys. So come up over onto the ball this time. So we're going to start with this very simple one. It's your Superman action. Well, it's not that it's simple. It looks easy, but it's actually tougher than obviously the Superman on the floor. I want hands touching the ground, feet touching the ground. Now, if you have those giant big body balls, you won't get hands and feet to the floor. So it depends on the size of your ball as well. Now, brace your tummy. That means pull your belly button in off the ball. Take your right hand forward and your left foot off the ground. And hold it for a few seconds. And you just squeeze. That's it. And then you change. You put your hand and foot back into the same position. Exhale, lift. Draw the tummy muscles nice and tight. Inhale when your hand goes down, your foot goes down. Exhale, lift. And you squeeze. Now, feel your stomach muscles on the ball and tighten it up as you hold. And you're just swapping from side to side. And you'll notice your balance will be better on one side more than the other. Now keep that back knee nice and straight so you're squeezing your butt when you lift that leg and hold it for 4 seconds. Good. And lift and hold. Check the balance. If this is too easy, slightly harder version is both feet off the ground. Just another inch forward. Same thing, you're lifting the leg and lifting the opposite arm. That's a lovely little option, but you really recruit those low back muscles, so make sure you feel comfortable. So you're lifting one hand, Whoa, your balance is shocking on one side, but you're also trying to lift that opposite leg. Now it takes a few goes for the muscle memory to kick in. So we're going to do 4 of these, lifting one hand, opposite leg, whether your feet are on the floor or not, for 3. I want to be able to look around at you guys. Good. 2 more. Perfect. I'm falling off my ball. Last one. And then release, just stay here for a few seconds. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come up with your feet off the floor. You're going to bend your elbows so your torso comes down. Bring your heels together and have your knees out wide. So this is like a frog leg position. So this is really good for the glutes. Now I can almost get my elbows to the floor, but you don't have to do that one. You can just bend your elbows, but stay nice and low, and you're pressing your heels up towards the ceiling. You're not going to full extension. You imagine you just press your heels up and then release down. Perfect. And your knees are each side of that ball when you bring your knees down. Now you're going to recruit glute muscles here, but into those low back areas as well. Okay, so heels in and press up. That's it. If you feel any pressure on your back, just make sure your stomach is still on that ball. If you go too far forward, you're going to compress those lower backs. So make sure the ball is still touching your stomach and your hips as you press those legs up. It's a nice little one. Perfect. Do 4 of these. Go nice and slow because I don't want to see these asses hopping on over the screen. For 3, squeeze those butts. That's it. For 2 more, that's perfect, Dolores. Lift those heels up towards the ceiling. Last one. Press those legs up. And then release the lower back by dropping your feet onto the floor. And just give your back a little rest by sitting back towards your heels, almost like a child pose position. You just switch off and you can actually just roll over that ball. Quite nice. Now we're going to go into push-ups. So I want you to watch this one first, okay? So you're going to go to the ends of your mats first, and you're going to have the ball against your thighs. And the push-up, minimum push-up position is ball under your stomach and your thighs. So it's touching both areas. Hands are wider than the mat, and you're bringing your chest to the floor. It's actually a relatively easy push-up. If you're stronger, go out further so the ball touches your thighs maybe, and do your push-ups from there. Or go to your kneecaps and do your push-ups from there. Are you ready? We're all just waiting here. So again, you're trying to get your chest to the floor or your chin to the floor, regardless of the level that you're at. If this is too easy, Raphael, you can go to your toes onto that ball. It's a nice little option. Good. So you're going to go chest to the floor, push back up. It's a really deep one on those chest muscles. Let me see it. You can go further than that. Yes, hands nice and wide. I want those big chest muscles, shoulder muscles working. Dolores, that's perfect. Tara, beautiful. Do another 3, guys. I think it's about 3 more. It's roughly 2 more. Monica, write down. Let me see. That's way too easy for you, Monica. 1 more time. You're probably restricted in the room. And then walk back, give yourselves a little rest. Now we're going to add from that exercise because everyone is ridiculously balanced. You're going to do what's called a pike. And you're going to do it with a push-up because I'm nasty like that. So same body position, but you're going to go out to your knees, at least your knees, maybe your shins on the ball. So I'm going to have to probably go back a little bit further to demonstrate. So same thing, you get up on the ball, but you walk out further till at least your kneecaps are only touching the ball. You can go further if you want to. You can add in the push-up, but this is a challenge. You don't have to do that one because that's really activates those chest muscles. But you're going to pike by bringing your knees in and then press back out. You can add in the push-up, or you can just do pikes where you press those legs out. Okay, so it's kneecaps on the ball, but squeeze those thigh muscles together. Okay, join me when you feel comfortable. Yes, Let me see, Tara. That's it. Go time it further. That's it. Hands nice and wide. Ankles together. Press those legs together. That is beautiful. It's just a challenge. Very good, Mary. That's it. And don't go back. Keep those shoulders over your wrists the whole time, guys, when you're doing those little pikes. Drawing those knees in. And you can add in a push-up just for variance. Do 4. Let me see. I was doing the pike and a push-up. I love it. 3 more. Tighten the belly button because this is still abdominals. This is chest muscles if you're doing the push-ups. That's 2, Mary. Very good. Oh, this is so much fun. And then when you're finished that last one, walking, and the challenge is getting back off the ball gracefully. Got to dismount gracefully off that ball. And then same thing, sit back on your heels just for a second. I did say graceful, guys. Sit back and put your hands on top of the ball just for a second. Let it open. Your ribs are going down towards the floor. Chest is sinking towards that mat and your head comes down. It's really good for opening up those shoulders. Nice big stretch for the thoracic spine. And you roll the ball to one side like we do in our normal stretches, but roll the ball. And it's a much deeper stretch to the lats and the ribs. It's a nice big stretch out for those back muscles. And then do the same to your opposite side. Go all the way across and stretch it out for me. Nice and gentle. Now, the next one is actually going to be for the low back muscles. Now, it's a nice one, and yet it's a nasty one. You're going to need to wedge your feet in against either a wall, or if you have a couch there, get your toes in underneath the couch. So imagine I've got the wall here at the end of the mat. Your position on the ball is going to be different, depends on the size of the ball to the size of your torso. You want to be able to get up on top of the ball, wedge your toes in underneath the couch or the skirting boards or whatever's there, but you want to be able to do it and be able to do a back extension and not feel like you're falling forward like this, okay? So if the ball is too low under your thighs, I won't be able to even demonstrate. I'll just keep falling forward. So bring the ball up high enough or down low enough that you can get that point of gravity, okay? You can be able to do it, wedge your toes in against something, and I have it in against the skirting boards. Find the position of the ball, and you should be able to come forward with your hands off the ball and not feel like you're falling forward because my toes are stuck into that wall. And then you're doing your back extensions from here, okay? So toes in against something, that's all you're gonna need. Good. Now let your body round over the ball. So you're bringing your chin down onto that ball. When you come back up, imagine squeezing your shoulder blades. You're not pushing with your hands, you're just resting your hands here, and you're squeezing your shoulder blades and you're squeezing your backside. Yes. So get your feet underneath the couch, Mary. So right down, your toes should be almost scraping the floor at the same time. So feet nice and low. Yeah, bring it down lower. You'll know after one or two whether you have the ball in the correct position. Now, if you start to feel a little bit extra brave, you can put your hands across your lower back and do the exact same thing. And imagine squeezing those shoulder blades back. Now, just check your stomach. I can do this and push out my stomach, but I'm just not helping my lower back. So brace the tummy nice and tight and then come forward, because we don't isolate that low back as good on the floor than we do here on that ball. So you're just doing a little back extension, coming up off that ball. Perfect. And then coming forward. So your hands are folded underneath that lower back, and you're going to squeeze between your shoulder blades. And you're just squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. Perfect. That's it. Bring that ball up towards your ribs a little higher, Siobhan. So if you take the ball and bring it towards your ribs, you should be able to get into full extension. So go up higher. So you went low that time. Bring it up towards your face. Yeah, towards your face. Yes, now you should be able to do it. So when you go forward and you extend back, you should be able to feel it in your lower back. Yes, much better. And do 3 more. Squeeze between your shoulders. Now you'll feel these lower back muscles waking up. We don't get to work them as good on the floor. For 3 more, squeezing. That's make sure you do it right. 2. Everyone has it. That's it, Alma. Perfect. 1 more time. And just squeeze. Hold that position. Take your hands away from your lower back so your hands are going out to the side. Feel the recruitment in that low back muscle. Now pump your palms up towards the ceiling, and you're squeezing those shoulder blades and you're activating those low back muscles. You will feel these muscles in your back tomorrow. It is not a negative thing. It's positive to feel the back. Do 4 and 3 and 2. That's it, Mary. 1. And then release it down onto the floor. Feel that. Just let your knees rest for a second. Just round over that ball for a second. Then you're going to go forward like a baby. I'm probably going to crush my microphone when I'm doing this one. But you're going to roll forward and just kind of let yourself hang over the ball. Okay? Let your head tuck into the ball. Let your knees tuck into the ball. And just let your back, especially this low back, open up. You'll feel it right across where the pelvis and the lumbar spine, that low back area, meet. So just round over that ball and just let it open. Nice and gentle. And let it sink there for a second. And then release. Now we're going to go in the opposite direction, or not the opposite direction. Well, it's kind of the opposite direction. You're going to sit on top of the ball just for a second till we get these tummy muscles to stretch as well. Now you're going to sit, if you sit on top of it, you can still do it. I want you to sit with the ball at the top of your mat or one end. So when you walk forward, your feet are still on the mat, because I know carpets and wooden floors, your feet like to slip. Now, you're going to walk down towards the end of your mat. At the same time, you're going to lie back onto the ball. Just get your lower back to touch the ball. Just your lower back. Your butt is hanging off the edge. That's it. Actually, everyone has it perfect. And your feet still have grip because your feet are your balance point. So walk your feet out to the edge of your mat. Now just drop your head back. See if you can get your head in contact with the ball. Even doing that, for most people, that is a nice abdominal stretch. You can take your arms in. Now again, keep your balance because it's going to be weird for your head. Bring the arms back into that little stretch. And you just hold. That in itself will switch off a lot of tension in your back muscles. And your head is resting on the ball. And this is just for beginners exercise. This is what you start with. When you do get more progressive and a little bit more flexible, you can start to almost extend the legs, but not fully extend, because remember, when you go up and over, you're going to lose your balance. So only go a little bit in at a time. So when you're practicing this one at home, you start teasing yourself, going maybe a centimeter more, and just feel how that feels in your back muscles, and just hold that position. Now you literally hold it till your head fills up with blood, and then you start to do it in reverse. So you start to bend the knees so your butt comes down towards the ground. Then you bring your hands down by your sides, and then you just lift the head off the ball. So it just kind of calms everything down. All right, now come off that ball for a second. All right, you're going to kneel beside it. This is our side leg series on the ball. It is so nice. So what you're going to do, get the ball, put it in against your hip. So kneel up on one knee, put the ball in against your hip. Kind of have this, yeah, we all have it. Now, you're going to lean over that ball and get your hand to the floor. So you're going to use your knee and your hand to keep yourself nice and balanced. It's trying to get that position. So I'm going to go turn sideways for a second. Make sure you're in a relatively straight line position like this. A lot of people will sit on the ball and hold this position. And when we do the leg lift, they're going to be working hip flexors again. We don't want that. So adjust yourself over the ball. This is where a slightly smaller ball is handy. Let your feet, heads, and hips line up in one position. And then lift and lower that top leg firmly. Oh, my knee's cramping. So you're lifting and lowering that top leg. So drop your bottom knee onto the floor just into that's it. And top leg goes up. And don't be biting at the ball. I can't read lips. You're going to text me afterwards because that means nothing to me. Do 4 little lifts and feel those hips for 3. And both hips actually work on this one. For 2 more. Lift that leg as high as you can. Now, the last one, hold it up here in this position. Now, pull the knee to your chest, and this is where your balance is needed. Press through your heel bone to the end of the mat. Good. Knee to your chest. Press through your heel bone and squeeze. Now, again, feel the tongue muscles pulling in because this is going to stabilize you on the ball. Press and squeeze. Good. Do 4 of these. Press and squeeze for 3 more. Knee to your chest. Press and squeeze. 2 more. Pull that knee right in. Press and squeeze. Last one. And we're going to just press that leg out. Hold that position. Hold, hold, hold. Keep it there. Now with this top leg, keep your hand on the floor. Top leg, you're going to swing it straight leg forward and swing it back. Now we're going to see this. I don't want to see that happen. Lift the leg, kick it forward and bring it back. And let's do again, 4, back, hips should be feeling it for 3, and back for 2 more. Doesn't take much to knacker these hips out. Last one, swing it back, hold this position, point your toes, and draw circles, happy circles. Do 3, and 2, and 1, reverse the circles, do 4, 3, 2, 1, drop that leg back down nice and slowly. It should be burning. And let's do the other side. So go all the way across, other side. You're going to put that ball against your hip. You're going to lean over that ball and put your hand onto the floor. Now extend that top leg out nice and straight. Now again, line up. If you're bending at the hip, you're not working those glutes. I want the glute medius and glute max. So line yourself up and you should be feeling this bottom hip crying the whole time. Ignore it. So top leg, you're going to squeeze that butt as you lift the leg, and it forces the glute medius and the glute maximus to recruit quite quickly. But the bottom hip should always be hurting the whole time. So squeeze as you lift, and let's do 4 and 3, 2 more. And then last one, hold it up there. And just even holding up there, you should be feeling the glutes. Now, if you do have tight IT bands, you might be feeling it pulling down towards your knee. Ignore that. So with this top leg, pull the knee to your chest, press back and squeeze your butt. So knee to your chest, press back and squeeze that butt. Lovely. So tighten those tummy muscles as you press that leg back. That's it. Push through that heel bone. That's it. I can see a lot of people starting to wobble. Actually, we'll do 2. Press that leg right back. 1 more, press the leg and hold it there. Now again, squeeze that top, but hold that position. Now with this top leg, swing it forward and swing it back. Do not let it scoop down towards the ground like this. This is called cheating, so keep it nice and high. Let me see you lift. That's it. Don't forget to smile, Iris. Let's do 4 kicks. For 3. 2 more. Last one, look at the faces. Bring your leg back, last 1, circles. Do 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, reverse the circles. Do 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, my hips, release. Oh my God. Sit back onto your heels, guys, into child pose. Both hips should be burning more than our normal side leg series because you get extra range on that ball. Oh my God, that's so hard. So drop your heads down between your arms and just relax your torso towards the ground. Let your hips soften. Now, the best way to open up your hips is your figure 4 stretch, but we can't really do on the ball. But if you can cross your ankles, and this is for anyone that has the mobility in the ankles and the knees, where you cross the ankles into like an Indian sit, and then you use the ball and roll forward, you should feel your hips opening up. Now, you can still do it with the figure 4 where you lie on the ground. You can do this one if you can't do that little one. You can do figure 4 like that and pull in. This is a quite nice one. Actually, do you know what? Everyone do this one. This is much nicer. Just get those hips to open up, just to be awkward. So put your left foot on top of the ball, bend your left knee up like tabletop, and just throw your right heel over your left knee. So right heel over your left knee. That's it. Now, all you're doing is you're almost just sitting there is enough to open up the hips, especially after that last set. But if you're a little bit more flexible, you can pull in that leg, that left leg, to open up that right hip and just feel it opening up nice and gentle. So feel that lovely burning sensation through the hip joint. And then we slowly change that leg over. So we put the right foot on the ball, left heel on top of the right knee. Now remember, it's your calf. It's not the same stretch. It has to be the heel or the ankle. And then you can either grab the back of that right hamstring and pull that leg in, or you can just sit there, and it's usually enough for some people's hips. So breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Soften your hips, soften your lower backs.